Hi, I'm Phoebe of Phoebe's Pure Food, and thank you for joining us for Pure Food for Thought. Today, I have a very special guest. She's enthusiastic and she's very passionate about vegan eating. I'm here with Jaime K of Save the Kales, and she has a podcast, or she actually has a cooking show, and she has a blog where she shares recipes and local inspiration, and you're also a contributor to Lehigh Valley Style magazine.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very exciting, and that's new for this year.
Yeah, new for 2014. Yep.
Yes. So I'm excited that you're here.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
Yeah. Always on the Pure Food for Thought show, the first question that we open is, what would you like people to learn from your story today?
Whew, that's a deep one. I've been thinking about this for days. I think this is interesting. I think there's a part of me that always felt like I would do what I'm doing now, but I never really had the confidence that it could actually happen until it started happening. And so I suppose it's that thing about people saying your whole life, you're good at this, you should pursue this. And maybe there's fear, maybe there's even a bit of perfectionism around avoiding it because it means so much to you. You don't want to mess up. I've always loved writing. I've always loved communicating with people, but you don't go to high school and learn how to host a TV show. Right. You tell people that and they think you're crazy. So to just be able to do it and figure it out along the way has been a huge life lesson. Mm-hmm. So you've been passionate then about cooking for a long time, or passionate about vegan eating? Where did it start? I would say all of the above. Uh-huh. When I was a teenager, I got involved in kind of like the punk rock scene in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, where I'm from. And a lot of people were different activists of all kinds. Mm-hmm. And that's when I first learned about animal rights activism. And the first time I heard about veganism, I thought it was totally wackadoodle. I didn't understand why anybody would ever want to do that. And then when I was 17, my father died unexpectedly, and I became super hyper aware of like things dying, and I didn't want anything to die, whether that was like a human, if it was a dad, or if it was like a chicken and a chicken's dad. And so that sort of shifted my focus. And I suppose at that time, learning about animals and about compassion was a way for me to kind of mirror that back on myself. Mm-hmm. And then I went through college, had some little bumps in the road of veganism, and then probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I found my way back after a long stint of depression. Mm-hmm. And again, it brought me back to that sort of compassionate place. If I'm going to try so hard to be a good person and care about other things and other creatures, I should probably try to care a little bit more about myself. And so that was a very healing thing for me. Mm-hmm.
So when you do vegan eating, or I don't consider it really like a diet. It's more of a lifestyle, like a choice, whether it's for dietary or for, social reasons. Or for animal rights reasons. Mm-hmm. How did that change? Did it change the way you began to eat? Like, was it a overnight change, or did you start to make the baby steps? Because a lot of people want to make the change and they don't even know how to start.
Yeah, well, when I was a teenager, my mom was very supportive, but she didn't really have any idea what to cook for me. Right. So I remember going to the grocery store and finding fake vegan cheese, which at the time was gross. Uh-huh. There are better ones now. And buying these health food store products that I never had before. I mean, I grew up in a Polish family. Oh. We ate kielbasi, we ate everything ham, stuff smothered in butter and onions, pierogies, all that stuff. So that's what my family grew up in. So she was very supportive, but I kind of had to learn to cook for myself if I wanted to eat.
So you did it alone? You cooked, well, not alone, but you cooked for yourself. You cooked separate meals for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I cooked for myself. And, I don't necessarily advocate people eating the processed, quote unquote, fake foods all the time, but they definitely make it easy. Right. You can find pretty much a vegan version of anything. So if you're transitioning your diet from not vegan to vegan, or even just trying to eat more plant-based foods, you can find anything you could possibly want in the supermarket now. Yeah.
Right. So you started to use then the processed foods initially, but from what I see, like following your page and following the TV series, it looks like you do like a lot of visits to farms. And you've connected to like a lot of local growers as well.
Yeah,
and that's part of the process.
That for me it was, yeah. I mean, I started off just trying to find, like, I was definitely, the term is, I guess, junk food vegan. It was like health was not, I don't even care, just as long as it doesn't have animal products in it. Like, I'll eat potato chips 20 times a day, it doesn't matter. When I got to college, I gained a lot of weight. Being vegan, because all of the vegetables would have like Parmesan cheese on them.
Right.
So my options were like bagels, French fries, white pasta with marinara sauce. Yeah. And, now over the years, I've learned to add a lot more vegetables, do more whole foods cooking. But a lot of it was based on budget, too.
Right.
And so the processed foods can be what's the part that's expensive. But like rice, beans, vegetables, and especially with farmers markets, they're so affordable.
Thank you for saying that. Because it's like a misconception that so many people have that eating well is expensive. And it's not.
No.
When you consider how many servings you get out of a box of prepared food versus like a bag of rice or a bag of beans.
Yeah.
So where did Save the Kales come from? The name of your website and...
Yeah, the name Save the Kales. Well, the little logo, just for those of people who can't see it, is a whale, and instead of water sprouting out of his back, it's kale leaves sprouting out of its back. So it's a play on the term Save the Whales. I knew when I started the blog, I didn't consider myself vegan at the time. I was cooking vegan food, but I wasn't calling myself a vegan, so I didn't want it to be like the Jaime K vegan blog. That didn't make any sense for me. But I wanted it to be fun and cheerful and cute. I wanted the name to reflect all of those things, but also have some element of like vegetableness to it. So the name just came to me.
Why were you afraid to claim that name vegan? Is that part of like the fear thing where you felt like you might isolate some viewers? Or some people might be turned off by the word vegan?
I don't know if it was that. I think, at the time I didn't consider myself vegan. I was eating that way, but I didn't have all the other parts in line yet.
Right.
But also I think that there's a vegan fill in the blank blog like for everything.
Yes.
And they start, and it's all good. I mean, I don't dislike the word vegan. I just think that they really start to like run into each other after a while. The vegan this, the vegan that.
Right.
And so I just thought Save the Kales was cute, and I love puns.
Yeah.
So hey, vegetable puns, you can't beat that.
Right? That's cute. So when you talk about the message that you're hoping people will take from this, it's part of like shedding some of that fear and taking risks. What was like one of the first big risks that you think that you took looking back now that might have seemed like immense, but looking back you think, oh, it was really just a baby step?
Well, I think one of the most interesting things, I hadn't realized I had done this, but weight, body image, all of that stuff has certainly been a big part of my life. And when you're in the vegan community, so often that is tied to health. So often that is tied to fitness. People often think they're one and the same. They're not. Maybe that's a conversation for another time. They can be, though. And so what I didn't really realize what I was doing is by putting myself on TV and, not necessarily looking like a fitness instructor. I mean, I work out, but, I don't have like an 8-pack or anything. I was really like physically representing the different types of vegans that exist. And, as someone who has had my appearance criticized in the past, I didn't really think a lot about it, but like going on TV was pretty brave. Yeah. I still get emails once in a while criticizing me. Yeah.
Oh,
people like to be mean, but you know what? Like, it's all good. I'm the one with the TV show, and so you can take all your time writing mean emails and go make your own show if you want to, so don't criticize me.
I love the way, that's a perfect way of thinking. And that sounds like Brene Brown. Did you read her book?
Yes. Okay, Isn't she great?
She's amazing.
Great.
Yeah, and I love the way she thinks like that, and I like the way you think that way too. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break, or a break, not a 10-minute break. We'll be back, and thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned.